Jason's Early Years Family Center, and as you can tell, we are not in a good friend's garden. We are in the forest today to talk about tree climbing. So for today's video, we're going to talk about some of the benefits of tree climbing for your child's development, as well as maybe dispelling some of the common myths that parents have about why tree climbing might seem more dangerous than it actually is, and also just giving you a couple tips on different activities that you can do for tree climbing, because tree climbing is a really great way to get outside, and this is an activity that you can do any time of the year. So we are all layered up, we are warm, and we are ready to go. So let's find some trees. So this is our first lovely tree that we found that we're going to be climbing. And a couple tips before you start climbing trees is you always want to look for a tree that is safe. And again, the importance of this is teaching your child how to recognize that for themselves, because they want to be able to learn how to evaluate risks. That's a critical component of development. It's something that a lot of children are missing as they grow up now. We are not teaching our children exactly the best ways to evaluate risk and gauge risk, which is so important as they go through life in every aspect. So for this tree, we know this is going to be a good one to climb because there is nothing dangerous looking about it. It doesn't look rotten, it doesn't look damaged, there's no power lines. These are all things that you want to look out for, and again, teach your children to look out for as they are going. So we're going to climb this one. Again, as you go, there are different trees that are going to require different types of skills, different ways that you might have to use more upper body strength. Maybe you need to do more steps if there's a lot of low branches. But the reason that climbing trees is so beneficial, there's actually a lot of them. One of them is it's great for their sense of coordination, as well as strength and physical development. But it's also great because it gives them a type of spatial awareness that we don't get in a lot of contexts. They have to be aware of everything around them. There's a branch behind my head. I need to be aware of my distance from the ground, how far up I actually am. And developing this spatial awareness is something that is important, but you don't do in a lot of activities. You don't do this in activities where you're stationary. You don't do this in just walking because things are moving slower. There's not that element of elevation. So this is a really critical way to work on that skill. Again, it's also about learning how to reach their own limits. So this tree, I know I can go a little bit higher. However, at this point, I know this is probably as far as I can go because I'm running out of branches to step on, and my legs are pretty short, so I can't really use them to balance much more as I go. So I've learned over the years that this is the risk level that I should be taking for someone climbing this type of tree. So I know that now I'm still okay to go down and go back to the forest floor by just doing a little jump down. But again, this is a skill that I needed to learn as I developed. So just to talk about some benefits of tree climbing, and again, one of the fun things about climbing trees is you can come out to a beautiful forest like where we are right now and look for different trees that could be fun to climb. It's half the fun is looking for that perfect tree climbing tree, which are actually few and far between to find ones with the perfect height, the perfect amount of steps. It's a fun scavenger hunt. I hope you all give a chance. But as far as the benefits go, we've talked about them, but when it comes to talking about the risks, there's a lot of different perspectives to consider. But some research for you, that of course will be included with the video, because we want you to take a look yourselves and not just take our word for it. If you look at studies on how likely children are to be hurt doing different activities, it is far more likely that children will be hurt driving in a car or some type of motorized vehicle or even unmotorized vehicle than it is that they'll be hurt climbing a tree. There are more cases of children being hospitalized, falling out of their own beds, than there are of them being hurt falling out of trees. And part of this is that gradual process of learning to take risks. We always start small, we start safe, and we build up to it, so it's not as risky as you think. So as we are thinking about our activity of tree climbing, and if this is something that you and your children should give a chance, I want to remind you that it is not possible to go through life without taking some risks. It's not something that we want to teach our children, that there are no risks in life, because we want to teach them instead to be able to gauge those risks and make smart choices accordingly. So please do take a look at the benefits, but also keep in mind that these things can be mitigated by teaching our children how to take those appropriate risks and starting small. Maybe it's starting just walking along a fallen branch, building your balance as a young child who's just learning to walk, building that on a low branch where you can still hold your parents' hands. But maybe as they get older, 6 or 7 or even older, maybe it is finding trees that they can climb up and work on things like balance and strength and coordination, and also build their connectivity to nature, which is something that tree climbing is so crucial in, because it feels as though you are really interacting with the world around us in form of trees and other natural materials, which is incredibly important for your child's development. So that is it today for our tree climbing video. I hope that you will give some thought to what we've explored today, because I'm sure for many of you, you have your own fond memories of going out to the woods as children and climbing trees and getting lost in the forest and just enjoying that time out in nature. So with all the benefits that we've talked about, as well as some of the risks that we can mitigate, I hope you guys all give it a try, and hopefully if you do, you send us some information, whether you send us like a tweet or a Facebook message, or tell us how it went. I hope you all give it a chance, because it is one of the best activities to get your child out and working on their physical development and connecting to nature. So thank you again for watching, and thank you